Let's talk to Officer Fernando Frank Flores, Emergency Management CERT Coordinator for the Palos Park Police, who joins us now. It was well intended, but I apologize for the ABBA intro.
No, that song just took me back to my days in high school. Because of course that was the song with my name on it.
Now, did it help you in high school or hurt you?
I don't know. I'd rather not think about it.
That's fantastic. All right, so you've got a volunteer emergency team together and a funding. Look, every town's got funding challenges, but you got very creative with this. Tell people what you're doing.
Well, you know what? Out here in Palos Park, we started our community emergency response team. They're known as CERTs. It's a national program, and we started our first class a year ago. We've done a second since then. And like you said, funding isn't something that's easy for towns. And this group is made up of all volunteers. So it was like, well, how do we do this? How do we look at, bringing something creative, something unique to the group and to folks that want to support us? So we came up with the concept of a challenge coin, which is very common in the military and in law enforcement.
Right. Well, explain how it works. You have the challenge coin, and what happens?
Well, you have the challenge coin. First of all, if you've seen them, I'm sure the pictures, they're real works of art.
Yeah, they are.
Graphic artists that produce these, there are so many variations and types. They're really impressive. Now, the interesting thing is the challenge coins originated as a way to show camaraderie. It showed membership in a specific unit back in the time when we didn't carry picture identification cards and things like that. You didn't have laminated and plastic things. So that coin designated you as a member of that special group. And again, now it's a worldwide tradition, if you will. But we came up with our own, and we're asking people to donate $10 for them. And eventually it's going to be used to buy uniforms, hats, shirts, things like that for the team.
It's great because it does make you feel like you're part of the team. I've been honored to be given challenge coins by members of the military over the years, and it's always special. So when I'm part of the team and I have a challenge coin and I meet somebody else, do I shake their hand with my coin?
Well, what you do is the challenge behind it, as the legend goes, is you produce that coin, and if the individual does not have theirs, they have to buy the drinks.
That's it.
and if they do produce theirs, you have to buy the drinks.
Right.
I love this idea of the challenge coin, too, because it's $10. It's something, it's commemorative. You're getting something from it, but you're helping the cause. You're helping raise funding for this, these volunteers, which I think is fantastic. And really and truly, you can never be too prepared when it comes to an emergency. And a lot of times, if there is an emergency happening, it's family and it's friends that are first to respond while we're waiting for the professionals to come in. So to have people that are certified to help during an emergency is so important. You said the CERTs is a national thing. Talk a little bit about the program and who can actually volunteer and take that.
The program, it really starts with the concept of you being the help before help actually arrives. And if you think of what's going on, for example, the hurricane headed toward Florida,
right.
You think of the disaster in Maui right now. There are CERT teams activated in these locations. And these are community volunteers that have gone through a nationally recognized FEMA-certified program. It's 20 hours in length, where you learn everything from basic disaster preparedness for you and your family, because really, that's where it starts. People like to think about the government. It starts with you as an individual, and then your family, your workplace, your faith-based organizations. That's where disaster preparedness starts. But we teach fire safety, how to control small fires, how to deal with utility controls. We teach them medical operations, how to do head-to-toe assessments, and actually triage. Because when a CERT team is activated during a disaster, they're a force multiplier for law enforcement, fire, and EMS, because they can start doing some of the work, because these resources that we take so for granted on a daily basis, they're overwhelmed. Right? So you have these folks trained in this, even light search and rescue. And one that folks don't normally think too much about is basic disaster psychology, right? Because sometimes all you can do, really, the best thing you can do is just hold that person's hand and tell them, help is on the way. You're
Right.
not alone.
Right.
And that really sometimes is everything. And if you talk to people in communities that have been hit with these disasters, and Mother Nature has no sympathy.
Mm-hmm.
There are man-made disasters, but think of the weather and what the weather can do to us. And usually it's the neighbors. It's neighbors helping neighbors during these fires, during these floods, before, your professional responders get there. And they do a lot of hands-on. We're partners with some great departments. Cook County Emergency Management and Regional Security gave us a huge influx of equipment to train and prepare our folks. And we have hands-on training every month. If you take the basic program, we invite you to become a member of the team, and we hold training programs every month. Stop the bleed, believe it or not, even animal response in disasters, and other topics such as that, so that every time you come, it's something new, and you're learning how to take care of the community.
Good for you, man. Good for you. I hope you're proud of it. You should be.
Well, thank you so much. You know what? You know who I'm proud of? It's these citizen volunteers. It's what's always made this country great. It's people standing up and saying, I wish to be counted. I want to be there when my neighbors need me. And really, is that not what it's all about?
It is.
Yeah,
That's
amen.
exactly right.
For more information, where are you sending people? Like, for instance, to buy the coins?
They can go to the Palos Park Facebook page, but they can email me at fflores@palospark.org. Believe it or not, we've already sent some out to New Jersey and to Minnesota.
Oh, that's great.
Wow. That's great.
Wow, that is great.
If you're local, we're more than happy to have you come by and pick them up or even drop them off.
That's cool.
You want to take
I
him
like
out
it.
with some Fernando here?
Why not?
Little bonus ABBA.
There you go.
There you go. More high
Make
school
his day.
flashbacks.
Great
Thank you,
talking to you
officer.
guys.
Stay safe. Great idea.